Hello folks, this is Timothy McMeans for Country Wit and Wisdom, here with another short story episode for your enjoyment. The title of tonight's story is called Up on the Roof. I invite you to grab your favorite beverage and then sit back and enjoy the tale. It was a warm night and he couldn't sleep. Lying there, he watched the soft summer breezes play with the curtains that hung over the window near his bed as if invisible fingers were playing a harp on them. For what seemed like the 10th time, he rolled over and tried to find a comfortable position to fall asleep in, but it wasn't of any use. Sitting up and putting his feet on the floor, he then walked over to the window and pushed the curtains to the side. The window was huge and opened up like two doors inward. It was then that he had an idea. Going back to his bed, he grabbed his pillow, sheet, and journal from his desk and carried them back over to the window. Looking out into the night, it seemed as if an unseen hand was beckoning him to come out onto the roof. Placing his belongings outside the window, he gently stepped over the sill and into what felt like freedom. Instantly, he felt his mind and spirit settle. Spreading his sheet down and propping his pillow against the outside wall, he sat down and breathed in deeply. The house that he lived in was at the top of a hill. From his perch here, he could see clear across town. The first thing he noticed was how quiet it was. There was little traffic, and the hustle and bustle of the day was banished by the silvery blue light that rained down from the moon that was adorning the sky. He also noticed how different the air smelled. It was cooler and had a freshness to it that he had not noticed before. Closing his eyes, he could actually hear the breezes flowing through the leaves of the two tall trees that were in the front yard. Funny, he had never noticed before how soft and relaxing that sound was. Taking a hold of his journal, he opened it to a blank page and started to write. There was some kind of magic in that late night hour that opened his heart and mind, and it flowed from them to the pencil that he held in his hand and then onto the page. He wrote of lost loves and love that he had won. He wrote of promises that he had made to himself that were yet unfulfilled, and of dreams that were brimming with promise and beauty. He wrote of dangers and adventure that he himself had experienced, and of times of sadness and despair. He wrote of his love for the mountains, the forest, and the streams. He wrote of the sound of the rain that it made on the roof in the late night hours, and the way a rainbow redeems the sky after a crushing storm. On and on he wrote for hours, pouring out his life story onto the page. Soon the eastern sky started to brighten, as the golden light of the master chased the silver-tailed mistress from the sky. The dark blues and purples of the heavenly canvas gave way to the hues of pinks and orange. It wasn't until the sun broke the horizon and bathed him in a heavenly light that he realized the night had passed away and it was early morning. Looking down at his journal, he found that it was nearly full. Raising his eyes to heaven, he gave thanks to the master above, who called him out to this place of stillness and quiet. He had inspired his thoughts. It then came to his mind of a passage that was in the master's book, Genesis 1:31. God saw all that he had made, and it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning. What he wrote was indeed very good. He knew in his heart that it was a gift to him from the master, who allowed him to capture himself in those pages. With praise and blessing, he stepped back through the window to take the rest that the master had decreed for him in his heart. In peace and tranquility, he fell fast asleep. If you like this story, folks, please feel free to share it. And also, please hit the subscribe button and the bell that's on the upper right-hand corner of the screen. If you do that, then you'll be notified of all the new uploads that I'll be making. Take care, and God bless.